Hello, welcome back to another video. My name is Mina if you're new here, and today's video is going to be a what I read in a week. I am not going to be doing anything special. This is just a weekly vlog in my life of all the books that I read and maybe stuff that I will do. I'm going to be reading a bunch of books that I'm very excited for that are newly released, and I know that I've been doing a lot of videos where I read a lot of newly released books, but that's because there's been a lot of books that I want to read that are newly released. But starting this video, I'm so excited for this book because I have seen everyone and their mother talk about this book and I need to know what it's about and I need to know it now. Sunrise on the Reaping. This book is Haymitch's story. If you've read the Hunger Games series, then you know that Haymitch is a mentor for the tributes in the Hunger Games series, and we love him and we adore him. I feel like this book is going to help us understand why he's the way that he is. I'm very excited to see where this goes, where it picks, how Suzanne decides to write the story, because this was the last thing I expected, but I'm so glad that we got it. I just absolutely adore Suzanne Collins. I believe that Haymitch gets reaped on his birthday. Crazy work. Very excited because I just love Suzanne Collins and I love the Hunger Games world, and I'm so glad to be back in it. I'm so excited to be holding this in my hands. You have no idea, because everyone and their mother has been talking about this book. All of my Goodreads, like the front page of my Goodreads, has been people reviewing this book and giving it 5 stars. Will I be giving it 5 stars? I fear that I might. Officially Wednesday, which is unfortunate that I didn't end up filming for Monday and Tuesday, but I've decided to basically take this from this Wednesday until next Wednesday, and then that way we'll just recalibrate the rest of the weeks as I need to, because honestly the week can start whenever it can start. Free thinking, you know, using my free will, if you will, to start my week on a Wednesday. It really is the beginning to my week because I went back to work today. I had Monday and Tuesday off and I went back to work today, and so technically it's kind of my Monday, which I'm glad it's not a Monday, because imagine, no thank you. I started with Sunrise on the Reaping, and girl, I am on page 218 on chapter 16, which I believe is halfway. It looks like halfway to me. This one follows the story of Haymitch, who is one of the victors of the Hunger Games. We get to follow his story in this book, and like I said, I'm halfway through. They just entered the arena to the games that he's a part of. It's the 50th Hunger Games, which means it's the quarter quell, which basically just means that it's a very special Hunger Games, which means something cool or something really atrocious, depending on how you look at it, is going to happen. And this one, from each of the districts, instead of picking 2 people, they're picking 4 people, 2 girls, 2 boys, and our main character ends up being picked as tribute in a very different way from what I thought was going to happen. Honestly, I did not expect him to be picked out that way. Mind you, it's his birthday. He gets reaped on his birthday, which is like, obviously, you know, like knowing Haymitch, of course this would happen to him. I am really enjoying my time with this book. I'm really loving it so much. I cannot believe that I am back in a Hunger Games novel. Haymitch is the most lover boy there is to lover boy. I love him so much. I adore him so much. Reading about him, it makes so much sense why he ended up being the way that he is in the Hunger Games, even though I'm only halfway through. But like the things that he's going through and the things that happen to him, and just seeing how different it is for him as a tribute versus how it was for Katniss, and how much the games have become the spectacle instead of being something that is like just for punishment. It's now like they have to stop and they have to film and they have to get like specific angles, which is like, so it dehumanizes the experience, and it's so like, Suzanne, you are eating it up so much, and I am absolutely adoring this book. I did not want to put it down. I read for pretty much most of the day. I picked it up at like noon. It is 4:30 p.m. right now. I listened to some of it on audiobook and then I read some of it as well. I didn't film any of it just because I was like, I don't know if I'm really feeling a Hunger Games novel right now. Turns out I am. Now I'm going to change. I am actually fasting today, so I won't be able to eat until the sun sets. I have a few hours left ahead of me. I don't really feel like doing anything, which is typical from when I'm fasting, because I just don't have any energy to do anything. And I didn't eat this morning before the sun rose, so it's on me really. I think I'm going to do maybe like half an hour of Pilates, which is like just beginner Pilates, which is not gonna kill me. Just half an hour, then I feel like it should be okay. I will update you if I have any updates, but I just wanted to let you know that I have started this one, and I will probably read a little bit more of it today, just because I'm really interested to see how he wins his games. Because if they end up doing what they're talking about doing in this book, it's going to be so epic. And it kind of reminds me of, oh, I forgot to mention, we also have people from like Catching Fire and Mockingjay showing up in this book. Unexpected, but I was so pleased to see them, because I was like, oh my god, I love you. I saw you in another book and I loved your character, and now I get to see them as their younger versions, which is so incredibly cool. So I'm really enjoying this book. I am probably not gonna finish this today, I don't think. I've been yapping for 10 minutes. This is gonna be a very long video, I can already tell. Already did my Pilates. I did half an hour, and then I got my clothes ready for tomorrow, because obviously I have work tomorrow. I immediately picked up this book because I can't stop thinking about it, and I can't stop thinking about Haymitch. I'm on page 222. I just wanted to talk about how Suzanne Collins writes such good descriptive scenes when it comes to action scenes. Like, I don't think I ever feel as anxious as I do when I read a Hunger Games book, because of the anxiety that comes with knowing, like, there's a scene where Haymitch is going up to the arena, to the cornucopia. Just that scene alone made me feel like I was going and entering the arena myself, which is so insane to feel, because my heart is racing and pounding and I'm having anxiety, but it doesn't know that it's not real. I'm just reading a book and it has no idea, because of how realistic it feels and how many emotions Suzanne Collins is able to evoke in me just simply from reading a couple of words. Just thought I should let you know that, because I found that so fascinating, and I love Haymitch so much, so much. Please protect the man at all costs. Like, I adore him so much, and I'm so scared for him, and so scared to see where this is gonna go. Of Sunrise on the Reaping, and I'm pretty close to the end. I think I should be able to finish this tomorrow. I'm on page 304 out of 382. I will absolutely be finishing this tomorrow, and then if I finish it, I think I will probably pick up Fan Service by Rosie Danan. I have no idea what this is about, but it's giving Teen Wolf. I know this is a romance. I know nothing else about it other than the fact that it was on my want to read list. I'm probably going to take both of these to work with me. I don't know how far I'm going to get into this one, because believe it or not, this is the week, actually today is the day that the new Abby Jimenez book just got released, and I am not purchasing it myself, because I find with Abby Jimenez, although I adore her books so much, I tend to get them from the library before I purchase them myself, just to see if I'm getting something like Yours Truly or Just for the Summer versus something like Part of Your World, because Part of Your World, I was more than fine just reading a library copy and not feeling like I had to own one. I reserved it in my library when it was on order, so it's coming and it's in transit on its way to me. So I will probably be picking that up on Saturday. So I think I will probably be finishing this one because tomorrow's Thursday, and then I'll probably read this Thursday, Friday, and then maybe go to the library either Friday or Saturday to pick up Say You'll Remember Me. I did not think that I was going to get it because I was number maybe 72 out of like 200 copies that they have, and usually that means I have to wait like a week or 2 or 3 and get it in the second batch of books, but it turns out they have enough for me to go get my own copy, which I will be getting, and I'm so excited because this is genuinely one of my favorite, most anticipated releases of the entire year. So I cannot believe I'm going to be able to read it very fresh after its release, which was not what had been the plan at all for this week. I just wanted to let you know, I just got my Kroger delivery, so I'm going to go put my groceries away, and I don't think I'm going to be reading anymore tonight, so I think that's probably going to be the end of tonight. Home from work. I have a migraine, a really bad migraine actually, as 21 Pilots has said. I have a migraine. 4:25 p.m. It's been raining all week. We had like a tornado warning a few days ago, and then again last night. It was so bad that it actually woke me up from sleep. It's raining again now. It just started. Probably will be going on for a little bit longer, but I finished with Sunrise on the Reaping, and I'm giving this one a 5 stars. I don't think anybody is shocked by the fact that I am giving it a 5 stars. It was so nice to be back in the Hunger Games verse. I just thought it was really fascinating to see Haymitch's character go from who he is in this book, in the beginning of the book specifically, to the ending of it, and then see him in the Hunger Games book, because I started watching the movie today. I am heavy in my Hunger Games era right now, which I think everybody is. It was really, really, really interesting and really eye-opening to see Haymitch go from the lover boy of all lover boys to the most hopeless, misery existent person, in my opinion. He is definitely an interesting character in the Hunger Games first, and I'm so glad that we got his book. I think it was really eye-opening to read it, and I actually almost cried like 3 different times, specifically in the last like 50 pages where you see him come home and then see the repercussions of what he does, because Snow is just that horrendous of a person. And I think this book reset my thought process when it comes to Snow, because obviously the last time I read about him, I was imagining Tom Blythe and the movie, you know, with the buzz cut, the blonde buzz cut. I don't need to tell you any more than that. Like, that, if you're a Hunger Games girly, you know that that shifted the way culture was viewed after he came out with that buzz cut in the Platinum Blonde. And I think I started to forget how really horrendous of a person he is until I picked up this book and I saw what he did to Haymitch. And why is Suzanne Collins so against Haymitch being happy? Is she allergic to his happiness? Some might say that's a thing. This made me really want to get back into the Hunger Games first, and I think I might be rereading the entirety of the Hunger Games trilogy and watching the movies. I already started the Hunger Games today. I haven't finished it. I got like an hour and 5 minutes in. They were just getting into the arena when I stopped, so I will probably finish that literally after I film this clip, and then probably start Catching Fire tomorrow night, which Catching Fire, in my opinion, is the best Hunger Games movie. I want to hear it. If you don't agree with that, go fight with the wall, because it is truly objectively a masterpiece. And then I picked up Fan Service by Rosie Danan, and I am flying through it, actually. I'm on page 166. This book follows the story of this guy who is a has-been who worked on this show about werewolves, like a werewolf detective. He is a has-been. It's been 17 years, and his biggest fangirl stopped being his fangirl because she overheard him at one of the cons talk badly about her and like call her a nerd, and so she stops being a fan of him and of the show. But she keeps like this extensive archive of the show and everything going on in the show, and the show is about werewolves. And suddenly this super rare blue full moon, something like that, happens, and the guy who played the character of a werewolf on the show, we see Devin turn into a werewolf, but he has no idea what's going on. Like his real person, not the character that he plays on the TV show, suddenly he's blacking out, and he gets these claws and his jaw shifts and he becomes a werewolf, and he doesn't know what's going on. So he reaches out to Alex, who is the admin and the creator of the archive of the show, because she thinks that the show and the real life transformation shift situation are interlinked. He recruits her because obviously she knows a lot about the show. She was the biggest fan for like 12-15 years. And so he reaches out to her to try to help him to get the shifting, I guess, under control. And it's a little bit ridiculous. I didn't expect it to be anything like this. I didn't expect it to be a paranormal romance. I never really watched Teen Wolf and I never really got into it, but I did love the first season, so I might as well give this book a try. But I didn't know this was going to be like a werewolf paranormal romance, because apparently now they've just confirmed that he is indeed turning into a werewolf, and she's helping him like sort of get it under wraps because she has a lot of information since she did a lot of search into the lore of the show. I don't know what I'm going to do. I think I'm probably going to lay down for a bit. Like I said, I have a migraine, a really bad migraine. Another day. I'm so glad to be home, and I'm so glad that it's Friday. No, tomorrow's Friday. It's not Friday today. Depressing. It is 12:45 p.m. and I just finished with Fan Service, and I think I'm going to give this one a 3.5 stars. I think I really enjoyed it. It's definitely an interesting premise. I don't think I've ever read a book that has like a premise like this, because like I said, it's a guy playing a werewolf in a show and then he ends up turning into a werewolf himself, and his biggest fangirl is like just talking him down and helping him through the change. It's definitely interesting. I don't think that I loved it so much, and a lot of it was really just a normal paranormal romance. It just sort of felt like what you would get in a paranormal romance. So not anything special versus The Sunrise on the Reaping, which are obviously these are two very completely different books, and I can't really compare the two. That wouldn't make sense. But reading The Sunrise on the Reaping was so different because full of depth and full of so much emotion for me that I literally almost cried. And then now reading this one felt like I was just watching like a cute rom-com movie happen. So it's definitely not anything special. I still prefer Bride by Ali Hazelwood for a paranormal romance. So I don't think anybody is ever going to top that, but it was interesting and entertaining while I read it. It is Saturday and it's 9:53 a.m. I literally just woke up like, I would say an hour ago, and I sat in my bed for a bit because I didn't want to get out of bed yet. The later I get out of bed while I'm fasting, the less I will struggle at the end of the day before I break my fast. I am about to go to the library to pick up my books, and I also have to get gas, so that is the plan. I don't see myself going anywhere else. I didn't bring anything with me. I didn't even bring my wallet. Is this better? I can't see you, but I hope this is better. I'll come home and I'll probably do my Pilates, but I'll update you when I get back. I'm back from the library and I witnessed a car accident, which is so strange. I did not think I was going to. I actually witnessed it on my way home from getting gas, and I don't know if you've ever seen a car accident happen in front of your eyes, but that stuff was scary. Library haul, I got Any Trope But You by Victoria Levine. Best-selling romance author Margot Bradley has a secret. She doesn't believe in happily ever afters. Not for herself, not for her readers. Wow. And not even for her characters, for whom she secretly writes alternate endings. This is so twisted. That swap weddings and babies for divorce papers and occasional slashed tires? When her happily never after document is hacked and released to the public, she finds herself canceled by her readers and dropped by her publisher. Definitely interesting. I had no idea that this book was gonna be like that. This is, I'm pretty sure, going to be hilarious. Girl, that is hilarious. And then obviously, I can't believe I have this in my hands. I can't believe I have this in my hands. I am so excited. I cannot believe. Oh, I have no idea what this is about. They met, they fought, then they fell hard. I'm not even gonna read anything to do about this book. $28. Wow, books are expensive these days. I'm so excited to pick it up, but also so scared because I know Abby Jimenez and I know that she's going to tear my heart out of my chest. Two very beautiful, gorgeous books. She is very gorgeous to me. I am going to do my Pilates because I want to get it out the way. I want to think about it for the rest of the day. So what I'm going to do is that I'll probably, I mean, you'll see what I decide to do, because sometimes I tell you that I'm going to do something and then I don't end up doing it. I did end up watching Catching Fire last night, which I didn't update you on because I got really, really tired afterwards. I broke my fast and I watched Catching Fire with my sister and my mom, and then I literally fell asleep with my phone in my hands. Catching Fire, truly the most beautiful, gorgeous piece of like media out there. It is such a good movie, and I forgot how good it is. I forgot most of the plot that happens in Catching Fire. I just remember enjoying it like the most out of all of the franchise. Checks out. It's so good. If you haven't watched Catching Fire in a few years, I definitely recommend watching it again. I don't know if I'll watch Mockingjay tonight, Mockingjay Part 1, probably I think, because I'm really on my Hunger Games era. And also now that I know the story of like characters that are showing up in this book as well, and like these movies, I did not realize how interconnected things are until I read Haymitch's book. And now suddenly people from Haymitch's book are showing up in Catching Fire and Mockingjay. Excellent stuff. I really, really want to read. So I think I'm going to have to set some time aside to actually read, because I typically don't read on the weekends, but I have a lot of books. Like you saw, I have 2 more that I just picked up. And I also have You Between the Lines by Katie Naiman, which apparently is about 2 rivals in school who write poetry about each other, or maybe he just writes poetry about her and he's like obsessed with her, but they're really rivals. Say You'll Remember Me is like top 3 most anticipated releases of the year. Pilates, pre-shower routine, shower, post-shower routine, edit, read. That's the plan for today. Spoke to you, I immediately jumped into doing my Pilates, which I did an hour of today, and then I showered. I edited my video. I don't know what I'm going to do after this. I think what I want to do is maybe get some chores done, because I have to fill the dishwasher, so I think I'm going to go do that, and then maybe do a little bit more chores around the house. And then once I finish with those, I will probably come back up here and start my book, which I'm so excited for and I've been thinking about literally all day, but I just haven't had the time to get to it. And I will come back to you when I have an update. Today really got away from me. I made dinner, as you guys saw, and that took me a really long time. It took me like maybe 2 hours. I think I finished by 5 o'clock, and at that point, I really didn't want to read, so I didn't end up picking up my book. I was really tired, and so I just decided to just sit and not do anything, because I wanted some rest time, because obviously I was exhausted. I went on TikTok and I went on Instagram. I broke my fast, and now it is like 9 o'clock, 9:30, something of that sort. And this is pretty much where I leave you for today. I think today really was not what I wanted it to be, unfortunately, which it really sucks, because I really had a lot of hopes that I would start and get halfway through You Between the Lines. I think that's what it's called, but that didn't end up happening. But at least I went to the library and I got gas. I got all of my chores done today, and I don't have to get any done tomorrow. Tomorrow should be significantly less chaotic. What I do have to do is that I have to journal tomorrow, and I have to do my dump spread, because I have a spread journal that's specifically for like spreads, and typically I do a monthly spread every end of the month. So instead of like a photo dump on Instagram, I do it in person, like physically. So I have to do that tomorrow, which means I have to check my printer ink tomorrow, because I think I'm running out of black and I don't know if I have a black, so I have to check on that. I have my tea. I'm going to just sit on my phone for a bit. I think I will probably fall asleep quite early, because that tends to be the case these days. I really just end up falling asleep with my phone in my hand. I'll see you in the morning. Oh my god, it's Raphael's birthday today. Happy birthday to my Italian king. It is 11 a.m. I woke up at sometime. I sure did. Don't remember when. Like 8:30, which is late again, which is fine, because if I'm fasting, I want my day to be as short as possible. This morning, I woke up at like 8:30. I stayed in bed until like 10, which I've been doing on my weekends, because usually on the weekdays I get up at 5, so I feel like I kind of earned being able to stay in bed until 10 on the weekends. And then I got up, I did my Pilates. Now I'm going to sit here and edit my video for a little bit. It's not really that big of a deal if I don't get my dump spread done today, but I do want to journal, and I need to get my clothes ready for tomorrow because I have work. We checked off one thing. I did my workout. So I'm going to sit and edit, and then straight after, I think I'm just going to jump straight into reading, because that's the goal for today. finished editing my video, and also while I was on my laptop, because I was on there anyways, to make the collage for the dump spread that I'm making for the month of March. And I was wondering if there was an audiobook for me to pick up while I do the dump journal spread. And it turns out, because I honestly thought that it would be locked, because when I went to go look for the Sunrise on the Reaping audiobook on Spotify, it was locked, and so I couldn't listen to it. And so I thought maybe this one would also be locked because it's a new release, but it turns out the audiobook of You Between the Lines is free and it's open if you have Spotify Premium. So I decided to start it, and I'm going to listen to it while I do my junk journal spread, or like my March spread. And I'm on chapter 2 because I listened to it while I was making the spread. I'm going to listen to it on double speed because that's what I typically do when I listen to an audiobook. I usually listen to it in double speed anyways. And I'm going to sit and do my March journal spread, which is great because I really wanted to get it out the way, because usually I wait until like mid-month or like to the third week of the month when I have no other choice but to do it, and then within a week it's the next month and I have to do it. My spread journal I thought I would show you is something from Archer and Olive, this one, which just has a B on it. It's plain pages, so the pages don't have anything in them. It has a little bookmark right here. Not the beauty blogger stance. If I have like a journal spread that I want to do about something or other, like if I think the very first journal spread that I did in this one was a What's Wrong with Secretary Kim journal spread, which is a K-drama, and it's so funny. Look at that. Like, hilarious, dude. Just because I loved it so much, and I did it in 2021, and then I did a Our Beloved Summer spread, which I did in 2022, and then I jumped into making my journal spreads for the months. If I read a book that I really like, then I'll do a spread about it, or if I watch a K-drama, or if I watch a TV show or a movie that I really want to make a spread about, maybe I'll make a Hunger Games spread at some point. It's very, very fun. I really like doing it. I bought sticker printer paper that I use with my printer, so I just make a collage and I print it, and then that way I don't have to worry about having to get double-sided tape or anything like that to tape stuff in, because it just peels off and it's a sticker. I'm gonna sit and do my journal spread, and then I'm going to listen to the audiobook as I do that. But that's exactly what I'm doing. So I have been listening to You Between the Lines. Unfortunately, I made it all the way to chapter 10, which is page 124, and I, for the life of me, cannot do this anymore. Our main girl character, her name is Leah. She's applying for this MFA program for writing, and she gets accepted, and they write poetry, and she doesn't read poetry. She's a poetry author in an MFA program for poetry, and she doesn't read poetry. And she's just not a fun person to read about. I really don't like her as a main character. I really don't like the way she thinks. I don't like the way that she speaks. I don't like the way that she treats our main guy character, Will, who is basically the rival or like love interest. And I just don't see them together. I'm not rooting for them to be together. I feel like Will deserves better than such a mean-spirited person. She's mean and rude and like pretentious, even though she says that she's not pretentious and everybody else around her is pretentious. She's the one that's really pretentious in my opinion. I really just don't understand why she's such an unlikable character. Literally reading about her makes me just roll my eyes. I think I'm going to DNF it, unfortunately, at page 124, because I am just not interested to see where they go from here. I finished my journal spread, which turned out really cute. It didn't take me all that long. It only took me like 45 minutes, but then I continued. I went to change the litter while I listened to the audiobook, and then I did some other things. Probably gonna watch some YouTube because I've been go all day. And I really want a break, so I think I'm going to sit and watch some YouTube for a bit. Let me know if you've read this one and if you've liked it more than I have. Obviously, as you see, I'm going to start with Say You Remember Me by Abby Jimenez, which, as I told you, I don't really know what it's about. I don't ever look into the synopsis of the books that I pick up. I matched my bookmark to the pink inside. I don't know if you can see, but I love doing that. I am going to start it, and I'm so excited but so nervous. I know that it's going to destroy me because Abby Jimenez tends to do that. So pissed off at the weather. Last week it was really warm. It was like 70-80 degrees, and then this week it's like 30-40 degrees, which, like, why do I need a puffer in April when it's supposed to be spring? Mathin' babes. I'm wearing my How's the Weather Perks sweater today. Can you see? I'm hoping that today goes by quickly. It's already 10 a.m. so it's looking up, and I'm pretty much just gonna focus on my work and then focus on reading while I'm here. The faster I get off of here and get to what I need to do, the faster the day will go. So I'll see you when I see you. Good morning. You know how some people get the Sunday scaries? I get the Sundays myself because I just don't like Sundays at all. But at least it's not Sunday, and we are a day closer to the weekend. Got home from work. It is the weather turned 60 degrees all of a sudden, and tomorrow we have a freeze warning. I'm America Explained, you know, in the trenches with my mental health. I started Say You Remember Me, and I am now I hate how far in I am. I'm on page 182 out of 350 something. I am a little bit over halfway, and I am struggling. This follows the story of this girl. Her name is Samantha, and this guy, his name is Rush. Samantha comes into this vet because Dr. Rush is a vet, and he looks at her cat. And the way that this book begins, definitely check the trigger warnings. There's a lot of talk in here about really sensitive subjects, which I already knew going into it because I know Abby Jimenez and her books tend to be a little bit more on the deep and hurtful side. So I already knew what was in store for me when I went into it. So I was expecting a hurtful time, exactly what I got. So Samantha comes into this vet office one time. She has this kitten who is going through a lot and needs surgery. The doctor tells her, Xavier tells her, that she should just put the cat down because the cat is going to suffer and the surgery that the cat needs is too expensive for Samantha to be able to afford. Samantha calls him out on his BS and on his bedside manner, and she ends up creating the funds through a GoFundMe for the cat to have the surgery. And then she comes back again saying, hey, I got my cat this surgery. Can you check on her? And he checks on her, and they end up deciding to go on a date together. And then something happens that gets in the way of their relationship. The yearning and the longing and the angst. Ooh, if you're an angsty girl, please pick this up. Please pick this up. Matter of fact, pick up yours truly by the same author, and Just for the Summer by the same author, because the way that Abby Jimenez creates a yearning, longing man, never been done before. This is so funny. he is compared to Rhysand. The way he looks is compared to Rhysand by multiple people in the book. So apparently he looks like if Rhysand was a human being. You just imagine. My goodness, this is really detrimental to my mental health because reading it makes me realize that no man could ever man the way that Xavier is manning. No man mans the way that Abby Jimenez is men be manning. He is so thoughtful in the, oh my god, I can't talk about it because I don't want to spoil it, but just know I adore this book so much that I had to physically force myself to put it down so I don't finish it today because I didn't want to be done with it today. I had to physically like pry it out of my own hands and be like, okay, we're gonna focus on work for the rest of the shift so I don't finish it as quickly as I am. Because reading these 150-ish pages, 180 pages, flew in like within a blink of an eye. I am resigned to my fate, if you will, of knowing that I am absolutely going to cry at the end of this book. Is it a success? Yes. Are we ending this video on a successful book? Yes. Has this week been a week of great reads? Also, yes. I'm having a great time, actually. I am going to change and I'm going to do my Pilates because I have to do Pilates today. It's not my rest day. So I think I'm going to do half an hour. And then after that, I'm going to try to distract myself by being on my phone so I don't pick up the book. The end of the day, thank God. Honestly, just sat around on my phone and my iPad and watched some YouTube. I'm getting ready for bed. I'm gonna do my skincare. I've been really on top of my skincare lately. There was a period of time where doing my skincare felt like the worst chore known to man, but now it's not so bad. I'll see you in the morning. Finished with Say You'll Remember Me, and unfortunately I have very mixed feelings about this book. I am giving it a 4 stars. Now, it's a real disappointment that it's not a 5-star read because this is, like I said, one of my top 3 most anticipated releases of the year. I'm giving it a 4 stars because I feel like there was a lot going on in the second half of the book. I noticed it in the first half of the book, but it wasn't really as prevalent as it was in the second half of the book. The problem that I had with this book mainly stems from the fact that our main character, Samantha, is she's such a hot mess. And I know she's going through a lot because a lot happens in this book. First of all, I feel like it was choppy because we would have a lot of like time cuts between, because it's a long distance relationship. It's one of the tropes in this book, and it's very, very heavily included in the book. And so we have time cuts between when they see each other and then the next time they see each other and then the next time they see each other. We don't see the time that passes between the time that they see each other and then the next time. We just see, and then this many days passed, and then this many months passed, and it's been this long since the last time I saw them. And I didn't like that because I feel like we were just reading it to read the story about the two people together versus them apart and then together, which I liked Xavier as a character and I really wanted to go more into his character, but we didn't end up doing that. Another problem that I had with this book is that somehow randomly everything always works out, which is so frustrating because they go through all of these things and it's like you're reaching the end of the rope of it's like, oh my god, this is like such a huge deal, and then somehow it works out on its own by some sort of miracle where he goes viral or something happens or some random thing happens that makes everything okay all of a sudden. That's another problem I had because it just didn't feel realistic, and I'm used to Abby Jimenez's books being very realistic, so that was kind of a letdown for me because I felt like we were just Santa Claus making sure everything is okay, no matter how random it seems to make this thing okay this way. My biggest gripe with this book is Samantha as a character did not convince me that she liked Xavier as much as Xavier liked her. Xavier constantly showed up. He constantly tried to make things work between them. She tried to run multiple times, which is understandable. Honestly, that's another gripe I have with this book, is the fact that the relationship felt doomed from the very start. I don't know why they continued going on for as long as they did. And this is why I say I don't think Samantha liked him as much as he liked her. Because if she liked him and she saw what he was going through, my man was working 80-hour weeks to be able to afford to go see her and fly to California to be able to see her because he's in Minnesota. He was working 80-hour weeks. He got pneumonia, double pneumonia, and he still flew out to see her. She flew out to see him one time. And I know her life is different from his, and she has like stuff going on at home, and she doesn't have the money, and the randomest things happen to her in her life. But it felt like he did all of these things. Like he would send her gifts, he would make her playlists, and he would do all of these grand gestures, small things where he shows her that he's thinking about her, and then she does not reciprocate any of it. But we're somehow supposed to believe that she loves him as much as he loves her, because she wouldn't be with him if she didn't love him as much as she did, which it just didn't sell me. I wasn't sold on the fact that she liked him as much as he liked her, because he took care of everything. He made sure everything is okay when this big situation happens to her and her family. He's there. He literally flies out on the week of Christmas, on the day of Christmas, to be able to go see her, flying first class because there was no other seat. He's constantly pulling all these big grand gestures for her to show her that he loves her and that he's thinking about her, and she does not reciprocate it. It doesn't feel like it's being reciprocated. Her whole life stems around her mom and her family, and I was not. So she felt very two-dimensional. It didn't feel like she felt any of the intense feelings for him that he felt for her. And the ending pissed me off so much because he basically gave everything up to go be with her. Why? He didn't end up getting anything that he wanted other than her. It's like, I wanted so much more for him. And it felt like the story was just, here's Samantha, let's give her everything that her heart could ever desire. Here's Xavier, let him be the one to give her everything that she desires, but she doesn't give him a cent in return. Every time she calls him, she has a crisis on her hands, and he has to fix it. I was so irritated by the last maybe 70, 80 pages of the book, because at that point I was like, honestly, if I loved a man as much as Samantha claims that she loves Xavier, I would let him go. Yes, it's painful. Yes, he doesn't want that. But like, if you love him, you don't want to see him flying twice in a 24-hour period with pneumonia. I feel like he didn't get what he deserved. So I only gave it a 4 stars because of him and how much I adore him as a character, not because I enjoyed the story, which I did in the beginning, but then everything kind of went south and I just kind of got frustrated. And that's why I'm speaking about it as angrily, I feel like, as I'm speaking about it now, because I was expecting so much and I was so let down. I know that Abby Jimenez does better than this. Why is Samantha so two-dimensional? Did you feel that way? Did you read this book and feel that way? Because I can't help but feel like this was a letdown for me, to be honest. And that is my review on Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I got home and now I don't feel like doing anything. I think I'm going to probably sit on my iPad for a bit, watch some YouTube, try to pass the time, maybe go on TikTok. It's my rest day from Pilates, so I don't have to work out today. That's it for now. I will see you when I see you. to end this video. So I'm here to tell you that I have officially finished the video. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you want more weekly vlogs. I had a lot of fun actually filming it, which I did not think was going to happen because I'm very self-conscious about my life because I do the same thing every day. I work a full-time job and the only time I read is when I'm at work, so most of my stuff gets pretty repetitive pretty quickly. I hope you enjoyed. I read a lot of good books and I read some misses in this video. I will forever be thinking about Sunrise on the Reaping. Still very questionable about Say You'll Remember Me. Let me know down below what your thoughts and opinions were on it. If you felt the same way that I felt. I've seen a lot of people give it some questionable ratings, whereas Sunrise on the Reaping gets pretty much good reviews from everybody that I have on my Goodreads and watch. So with that being said, that is this weekly vlog coming to an end. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you guys again next week with another video where I'll be reading some more books, presumably.